All right, let's do some review so you are ready for your Moby Max today. Today you are assigned 2 different topics in Moby Max, and you're going to add and subtract decimals. If you have your dry erase grid paper, this would be helpful to have as you're working through your Moby Max problems today. You can pause it and go find that. If you just have a regular whiteboard, that's fine too, but we know it's a little bit easier to line up these decimals if you have the grid paper. So I'm gonna end up solving these on grid paper, so let's get to it. All right, so the first set that you're assigned is Add Decimals Part 2, and you're just gonna see problems like this. Most of them are gonna be written horizontally. Some of them they do set up vertically for you, already lining up the decimals, but for the most part, this is how you'll see it, and you will have to set it up vertically to solve it. So why don't you go ahead and solve that one out. You can use your dry erase grid paper, or you can solve it on your whiteboard. That's fine. All right, so this is our first one. Press play when you are ready, and I'm gonna work through it now. So this says 6.73 plus 204.9. So I need my decimal point to be right there next, like where that 6 is at next to it. So I know that I have to set up my 204.9 kind of off to the side like that. And when we add them, I would go ahead and put a 0 here. 3 plus 0 is 3. 7 plus 9 is 16. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. And 0 plus 1 is 1. And there's nothing here to add to that 2, so I'll drop it down and bring down my decimal point. So 211.63 is what you should have gotten for that. We're just gonna do 3 of each today. Actually, 3 of these and 4 subtraction. All right, so go ahead and solve this one next. Get that set up in your grid paper. Press play when you're done. Okay, so I see 16 and 45 hundredths, and I'm supposed to add 987 thousandths to that. I need my decimal point to be lined up with that. So that means this is what it should look like when you set it up. I know it's weird to have an empty spot above the 7, so I'm gonna put a 0 there. 0 plus 7 is 7. 8 plus 5 is 13, 9, 10, 14, 6 plus 1 is 7, and 1 plus empty box is 1. My decimal point stays put where it's at. There's my snowman. So 17 and 437 thousandths is what you should have for that one. All right, our last addition one, go ahead and solve that one out and press play when you are ready. All right, welcome back. I have 0.95 plus another 0.95. So let's add them up. 5 plus 5 is 10. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. And 1 plus 0 is 1. And I drop down my decimal point. Now, when you type this answer into Moby Max, you could type in 1.90, or remember, you could also type in, do you know? Yes, 1.9. You could just type in a 1.9 because those are equivalent. Okay, let's practice some subtraction. So same idea here, you're gonna have another topic in Moby, it'll say subtract decimals. And most of them are going to be written horizontally, it'll be up to you to write them vertically. And again, while you're working on Moby, have your little dry erase grid paper out, and you can work these problems out on the grid paper and type your answers into Moby that way. Okay, number 1, go ahead, solve it out. 0.56 minus 37 hundredths. And I noticed right off the bat, I can't take 7 away from 6, so I am gonna have to borrow from this 5 and make it a 4, and there I have 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. 4 minus 3 is 1. I drop down my decimal point, and 0 minus 0 is 0. So 19 hundredths is what you should have gotten for that. All right, solve out this second one. Press play when you're ready. All right, 145 and 1/10 minus 7 and 4 hundredths. This is what it should look like when you set it up. I know it's weird to not have anything here, but those decimal points have to be lined up. Now I can put my 0 in. I can't take 4 away from 0, so I'm gonna borrow from this 1 and add 10 to the 0. 10 minus 4 is 6. 0 minus 0 is 0. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my decimal point down. I can't take 7 away from 5, so I'll borrow from this 4 and add 10 to the 5. I can take 7 away from 15, it's 8. And 3 minus empty box is 3, and 1 minus empty box is 1. And I have 138 and 6 hundredths. All right, third one of these. Go ahead and solve that out and press play when you are ready. I have 7 and 65 hundredths minus 1 and 46 thousandths. That's how it needs to be set up. Then you can put your zeros in to make it look normal. I can't take 6 away from 0. I'm going to borrow from the 5, and now it's 4. And 10 minus 6 I can do. It's 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 6 minus 0 is 6. I bring down my decimal point, and 7 minus 1 is 6. So 6 and 604 thousandths. You have a 1 left. All right. 29 and 1/10 minus 20 and 1/100th. Go ahead and set that up, solve it, press play when you're ready. Okay, 29 and 1/10 minus 20 and 1/100th. This is what it should look like to start. Yes, they don't look lined up here, but they need to be lined up here with the decimal. I pop my 0 in there. I need to borrow from this 1. It becomes 0. 10 minus 1, I can do, that is 9. 0 minus 0 is 0. I bring down my decimal point. 9 minus 0 is 9. And 2 minus 2 is 0, but when we have a 0 in this place, like, it's not necessary to write that, right? If you have 9, you just have 9. I need this 0 though, because if I didn't have it, that would be 9/10. So having it makes it the 9/100ths. So my final answer should be 9 and 9/100ths. All right, so that is what you're going to be doing in Moby today. And don't forget, use that dry erase paper that you have. Set it up in the grid paper. It makes it so much easier, and you don't lose track of where your decimal point goes. Good luck today. Have a great weekend too.